Hello, I'm DC, and welcome to episode 4 of The Real World, REEL. And today we are going to be looking at none other than the self-proclaimed prophet and multi-level marketer, Ray Higdon. I'm going to go ahead and play the disclaimer, and we will go ahead and get right in to looking at some really twisty reels, and there may be some guest appearances by other twisty speakers in the network marketing space. So if you don't know who Ray Higdon is, he has been in the network marketing space for a long time, and now he is a coach and the leader of rank makers and has dipped all of his toes into the deep end of religion, Christianity, prophethood. He seems to be blurring the line between business and religion, and I'm not here for it, except I am, because we're going to be looking at his reels. Oh, I guess before I need to start, I need to give you a trigger warning, a content warning, religious manipulation, twistiness, all of the above. I don't know, footnote Ray Higdon. If you haven't seen his content, you're lucky. Okay, he is a high control group leader of rank makers and now is intermixing faith with that. If that's too much to handle, I get it. Maybe watch something else on my channel or come back for the next video. Make sure to take care of yourself. Let's begin, Lord.
People that are dominated by that spirit of money, even if they don't have it, they're still dominated by the spirit of money because they're picking apart people that have money. Oh, look at that guy. He's all about the money. So stop looking at the resource as something good or bad. It's a resource. It's okay for you to have it. Just don't put your identity into it. When you step into that, and you start stepping into faith, things change.
Oh, do they? We're not picking you apart because you've got money, buddy. We're picking you apart, or we're picking the behavior apart because you are the leader of a high control group, and the people who are in the high control group don't leave with a warm fuzzy feeling or that they have been treated the right way. I'll just leave it at that. If you are watching this video and you don't know who Julie Anderson is, she was in rank makers for a long time. She was up close and personal with this person and the leadership of rank makers. If you haven't watched some of his reality series that he recorded himself, you should check that out on Aaron Bees' channel, on Julie Anderson's channel. It's twisty. What a good screen grab. I love it. I love this so much. Here we go.
You never fulfill your destiny by doing work that you despise. Ooh, that is a quote from John C. Maxwell, who I am super honored to have as our keynote speaker.
You're super honored to have paid his speaking fee in Orlando for your event that you broke down and let it be a live streaming event, even though you spent reels and reels and reels villainizing live events that are remote. What?
Our Faith Over Fear Business Summit in Orlando in September. You may hear that and think, well, I don't like prospecting, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. Look at what are you trying to accomplish in your career or your job or your business. And if the end result of what you're trying to accomplish doesn't light you up, doesn't excite you, doesn't get you fired up that you're making a difference and making an impact, then it just might not be your destiny.
You know, I don't really think that my destiny would include taking advantage of people and plugging them into a commission structure where the upline always wins and the mid to lower tiers always lose. Even if that does light you up, does it really light up the ethics meter of your soul or the morality? I have lots of questions. I mean, you can be excited about making a lot of money and you can be taking advantage of people and make a lot of money at the same time. Just because you have a former pastor speaking at your Orlando event, your Faith Over Fear event, that doesn't really excite me, seeing people who were formerly involved in the religious space using their speaking ability to confuse the lines between work and religion, and thus that confusion causes more people to stay in a broken model than being able to leave when they feel like something is wrong. Okay.
You have to keep growing. You have to be diligent of your time. Proverbs 4 from King Solomon says, "Let your eyes look forward and stay straight ahead. Do not look to the left. Do not look to the right." What is he talking about here? What I believe he's talking about is for you to continually focus on growing, not turning to the left with overthinking, perfectionism, procrastination, not turning to the right, beating yourself up, having self-worth issues, focusing on inner you, but instead move forward. Share wisdom that you're getting. Go forward and solve problems. Go forward and grow and invest in yourself. Stop wasting all that time by taking your eyes off the prize, off of your goals, by pondering, overthinking, procrastinating, or by beating yourself up.
Sir, can I just say this? When you read a document like the Bible, you have to take in historical context. You can't just say, you know what? I'm going to read that, and I think it's saying this. I mean, you can do that because you're doing that here. It is not the ethical way to read historical documents like that, because you need to know to whom it was written, or to who. Is it to who or to whom? Commenters, if you're good at grammar, can you let me know? Who was it written to? Oh, that's even worse. I'm ending with a preposition. Oh, forget it. Forget it. Y'all aren't here because I'm good at grammar. Maybe you're here just for the kazoos. What time was it written in? And what contextually does it mean because of the time period? I have seen Ray Higdon and how he has, in my opinion, bullied people. And I'm not saying that you can't be a bully and then change your ways. He is, in my opinion, still participating in the same behaviors that created an unhealthy environment for rank makers that they're still stuck in. And now we've got religious manipulation all up in the mix. So no thank you. No thank you, Ray. I'll pass. Our buddy, Ray Higdon, just announced that he is offering a live streaming option for his event, and he's going to tell us how virtual events suck.
Virtual events suck. Hear me out. When the pandemic started, all the different gurus, including us, we decided to start, really ramping up our virtual event efforts. Now, when someone watches a virtual event, they're eating a sandwich, ironing their clothes, answering the doorbell. They're so distracted. If you are a Christian on your walk, the one time and the one thing you need to hear from a speaker is going to be the exact time that the devil will distract you. This is why I'm highly, highly encouraging you to get back into the room of live events. Get into the atmosphere, get away from your environment. Look at it biblically. When Jesus wanted to mentor Peter, James, and John, what did he do? Did he do it right there, or did he take them up to the mountaintop? He changed the atmosphere, he changed the environment, and that's where he got some major lessons passed down. You too, get in the room.
Can I just say this? I grew up going to church. My parents are very strong, ethical Christians. I don't know what I am. I will say this, though. You cannot take something. I mean, again, you can do whatever you want, but is it ethical to say, oh, this happened in this book of the Bible, and I am going to superimpose this situation on something that I am going through or offering to people and then provide meaning from it? I don't think so. Ask Julie Joe. She's the one that has the master's in theology. I'm just here running my mouth on the internet and have lots of questions because this seems twisty as hell. The power of live events. Faith Over Fear Business Summit, Orlando, Florida, September 7th through 9th, 2023. Have I cleared my schedule? Yes, I have.
I don't think that Ray Higdon is ready for the snarkies or baby snark in his event, and I'm here for it. I've cleared my schedule. September 7th through 9th, I'm going to be here on the internet doing all of the things to expose this fluffery. By fluffery, insert the F word.
My buddy Tyler Watson, he does something that, in my opinion, is the missing link, and it's around allergies and addictions. And you just work your face off. But if you're allergic to a profitable situation and you're addicted to a negative situation, you can do 100 times the work and you're only going to move the needle 1%. And he has physical things that you can do to get rid of them. All of a sudden, stuff starts becoming easy.
It's all about marry the process, divorce the result, focus on the activity. The success will come, but not always. I got such bad comparitis. Going to events. and surrounding yourself and like putting yourself in that environment, not virtually, not watching on the phone. That it's not the same. Being in the room, how like those little breakthroughs. That's when the magic happens. At least that's been our experience for not just us, but for thousands and thousands of other people that we know over the last 20 years. And it really is so much more than just making money.
Cult alert? What? Aaron B's? What is going to excite you about getting in the room? That's the question. It is the energy, it's the emotions, it is the behavior control, it's the lack of sleep, it's the energy and the excitement that you see other people participating in, and you get excited because you think that you should be excited because everyone else is. And the beauty in being able to do a virtual event, which however many times he's villainized virtual, he did offer it. He's offering virtual tickets now. I don't know, maybe he didn't sell enough seats in his live event, but what do I know? We're just gonna see what the hell's gonna go on. I cannot wait to hear the twistiness. A beautiful thing about doing something remotely is that you really get to engage your mind without having the pull of the emotions of being around people, and you get to say for yourself, you know what, this is valuable or it is not valuable. And I think that the Faith Over Fear Business Summit, where they're going to be mixing, intertwining religion with your network marketing stuff, you know, some of that could be happening there. Some of that high control group fluffery could be happening there.
If the thing that you're seeking is anything other than God, it'll never be enough. Now, most people, they put their significance, their status, identity, safety, security in money. Their net worth is their self-worth. Here's the truth. When I was broke, I was completely stressed out, depressed, felt like a loser. As I started to make money, as I started to make millions of dollars, it was never enough. Whatever it is that you're seeking, whether it's status, whether it's reputation, whether it's success, whether it's speaking engagements, whether it's money, if it's not God, you'll never get enough of it to fill the holes you're trying to fill.
Here's my first question. Setting aside the widow words in your presentation of your captions on your screen, and setting aside that I don't think your microphone is connected to your phone, the wind, the cars driving by, the lack of professionalism, the fact that I don't even know what's going on right now. You could make a claim, and I know there's lots of people who are devout, ethical Christians who watch my channel. I'm sorry for the cursey words. And they do believe that you find meaning by inviting God in. My issue becomes when people like Ray Higdon leverage people's devout and really grounded beliefs in God, leveraging that in network marketing to get people to stay in or to get lured in further if they want to leave. That's one of my big issues. I am not the person to determine or question someone's relationship with God. I do have a very nervous feeling if someone is proclaiming to be a prophet, and I have that feeling with this dude, in my opinion.
You have a big goal, a big ambition, or a project that you're wanting to start. How can we get instruction biblically on how to prepare? How do we go about it? Proverbs 24:27 is a very, very powerful verse that probably a lot of people don't quite get. Proverbs 24:27, prepare your outside work. Make it fit for yourself in the field, and afterward, build your house. You could be talking about any plan that you have. So prepare your outside work. How will what you accomplish impact others? Make it fit for yourself in the field. So make it fit for yourself. So get yourself comfortable with the mental rehearsal of it already being accomplished. And then finally, build your house. Do the actual work. Get prepared. Prepare yourself for who's this going to impact, then start doing the work.
Sir, have you ever heard of a tripod? Because I would love to not be seasick watching your reels. You're taking, again, Bible verses, you're taking them out of context, and then you are applying them to present day situations, which you can do with some things. I have a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling that you're taking verses out of context so that you get to target a new market of people for your rank makers group, for your coaching business. Look at all those speakers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
A few moments later.
Wait, I messed up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
One eternity later.
31 speakers, and John Maxwell is at the front because he's paid the most.
I interviewed John Maxwell the other day as he is our keynote speaker for our event in September in Orlando. And he said, the best way a mentor can prepare another leader is to expose him or her to other great people. And that is so powerful. You know, if I think back to all the different mentors that helped me throughout my life, a lot of times they may have led me to a book, or they led me to a quote, or sometimes even or worst kind of mentor, I should say, is the one that's trying to make sure you only learn it from them. If you're so worried about the credit, then you're going to limit the growth of the person you're mentoring. Don't be addicted to the credit. Be addicted to their growth.
Have you watched your own TV series that you made? Whatever it's called, the twisty one, where you, in my opinion, participate in bullying-like tactics, and that you are looking for credit and you're not actually worried about people's growth. I get it. You can change over time, but I feel like it's audacious to have this position at this point in time with your conference coming up in the face of your behavior that you've participated in over the past, I don't know, your entire career in network marketing and your entire career as a high control leader in rank makers. Okay? Rage, rage, rage. Oh, Justin Prince is right there. Jesse Lee Ward's mortal enemy maybe not number 1 anymore. Holy moly, I can't wait for this conference. That's a picture of Jesus behind him. Oh boy.
Gandhi said, I like your Christ, but I don't like your Christians. Your Christians are very unlike your Christ. He went to attend a church in Calcutta. He was denied entry because he wasn't white, and he also wasn't part of the high caste system where he was a recognized religious leader. Whether there were other examples that led him to that quote, you should know, as a believer, our job is not to judge others, especially those who aren't of faith. You'll also notice this in the new movie Jesus Revolution, of how by accepting the hippies, which were traditionally not desired to be in church, by accepting that, there was a major revival. And so, are you judging non-believers, or are you following the words of Ephesians 4:29 and meeting people where they are?
Why are we looking at this? He has mixed in his religious beliefs with his business stuff. And I will say this, my dad is a Christian. He also is an ethical person. And he does believe that his driving force in how he treats people is because of his relationship with Christ. What Ray Higdon is doing is twisty as hell. Cherry picking of scripture, his misunderstanding of the context and the historical foundation behind different things that were written, him warming up / targeting a new audience is for directing them to be plugged into his rank making coaching service so he can make more money, in my opinion. You may not agree with that, and if you don't, or if you do, let me know in the comments. We can rage, or we can have a calm, civilized, respectful discussion about our differences of opinions. Here's what the video says. God sometimes answers our prayers by giving us what we would have asked for had we known what he knows. If you rewind it, feel free to. In this video clip, you can see Ray's wife, Jessica, being baptized by Ray, and Ray, a pastor person. We see videos of him speaking, it looks like at a church. Am I going to be nosy and zoom into this? Yes, I am. Oh my God, he looks like he's preaching at the Association of Network Marketing Professionals. Why would you need to be baptized by your husband? Because I've never seen a wife baptize her husband and a pastor. I know y'all are going to tell me. Make sure you tell me nicely in the comments. Questions are not inherently offensive. I just have lots of questions, okay? There he is, Ray Higdon.
My name is Ray Higdon, and I help leaders reach new levels of
Who did this audio?
hope, wealth, and impact through renewed perspectives. I coach people on how to be a better speaker, how to better connect and relate with their audience, and how to lead any audience into wanting to work closer with you. And what that allows you to do is make a much bigger impact and at the same time, increase your wealth.
You're a world-class keynote speaker? Who did your audio? Who's doing my audio? It's me. You're a world-class keynote speaker, and yet you do not own a microphone, it seems like. Oh, here we go. More faith manipulation, in my opinion.
Ideas have a short shelf life. You must act on them quickly before the expiration date. That is a quote from John C. Maxwell, who is our keynote speaker for our Faith Over Fear event in September in Orlando. I'll tell you, I have gotten really good. I wasn't always this way. When I have an idea, really evaluate it. Does it make sense? If it does, let's go and do this thing. Let's go and make it happen. Now, you can't execute every idea, but if you surround yourself with the right kind of people, maybe it's not you executing it. Maybe it's someone that you're leading that actually does the execution.
Ideas do not have a short shelf life. You know why? Because good ideas can stand up to scrutiny and they can be executed at any time. It says, remembering I was a question mark. Never felt like I fit in, never felt important to anyone ever. Here's to the question marks. I promise I will always fight for you and shared what has helped me. faithoverfearlive.com. My fun little phone over here is cutting off some of this, but it does say faithoverfearlive.com.
So one tip if you're going to be speaking on a stage is go up on stage before the event if possible.
Did you get recording tips from Jesse Lee Ward? What are you doing?
Things out. Sometimes there will be a courtesy monitor that tells you how much time is left. Sometimes it's a clock. I've gotten on stage when it's a clock and I'm like, I know I have 45 minutes, but are they behind? And so if you go up there and you see those monitors, and sometimes like the event I just spoke at in Dallas, they had 3 screens. They had the time, they had the current slide and the next slide. Well, if you go on there, and by the way, you couldn't see your slide behind you. So if you go on there and you don't know which screen is what, you may be on a slide that you're actually not on, right? And so this will really help you out. And something I try to do on every speech is just get on the stage prior to you going up there, just to map things.
Did he just cut that off? He didn't even wait for it to say map things out? What is this shot right here? Why is this angle happening? I mean, how is this even helpful information? Every single speaker knows to do this. You just said sometimes there's monitors and the middle monitor is your current slide and the next monitor is your next slide. You already told us everything. Wouldn't that be the information that the person emceeing or running the event or the technical team would tell you?
Proverbs 3:27 and 3:28. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in the power of your hand to do so. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come back, and tomorrow I will give it when you have it with you. This is a very powerful proverb here from Solomon. If someone does something great for you, don't look at how cheaply can you pay them. There are people, maybe they owe you money. It's almost like a game that they play of how long can I keep it? Constantly going to surround yourself with who you are and the type of person you are and the type of business person you are, not who you want. When someone is doing a great job for you, you're not paying them on time if you have the ability to do so, then that's exactly the type of customer you're going to attract. If you find yourself with teammates or clients or customers that are, just nightmares and they're terrible, Look at how you are a customer, a client, or a teammate to those around you.
Are we in the Twilight Zone? Has Ray Higdon actually mixed up stuff that's written in the Bible with attraction marketing? Also, how are you going to talk about treating people well when we've seen your TV series you made on your channel, the first 2 seasons, where you treat people, in my opinion, like trash? You and Jessica.
Most stressed in your life is exactly where you're trusting God the least. We're taught in the Bible, do not be anxious about anything and cast all our anxiety on Him because He cares for us. Are you really trusting God in that situation right now that is stressing you out?
Being in rank makers stresses a lot of people out. Now you're going to tell those people to cast all their fears and anxiety onto the Lord, even though you're the person that's causing that fear and anxiety. Why don't you treat them better, and then they won't be anxious? Ray, are you serious right now? Does his shirt seriously say default setting gratitude, and there is the biggest letting gap of all time? Anything is possible, rank makers. Yeah, anything is possible when you're using the bite model of authoritarian control.
One question that you want to ask yourself before you deliver a speech
is, do you have a microphone that works?
Is, what will people take from it? How are they going to share what they just heard with other people? If you're sharing 57 points, 57 parts of your story, they're not going to be able to quantify that. You want to think about, how do I tell my story in a way where I take one major concept, I share that vulnerably, how I overcame that, and maybe how I help others. Because
I cannot listen to anything that you're saying because the wind is literally beating the hell out of your microphone right now. That's clipped to your shirt, and it doesn't even sound like it's connected to your phone.
The audience can only absorb a certain amount, especially if they're in a multi-day conference. They've already heard a bunch of points. What's one major thing that you want them to share with other people? And if you want someone to remember something, say, hey, you may want to write that down. And then when someone asks them, hey, what'd you get out of that? They'll look at their notes. Isn't that powerful? And so I hope
that's literally not powerful. And that's the advice that you're giving. That's so incredible that everyone and their mom gives in every multi-level marketing company.
It was helpful. If it was, feel free to share and comment. If you like this kind of teaching, we have our Faith Over Fear Business Summit in September in Orlando. Check it out.
I don't even know what to say. This was awful. No, I don't like this content. Your business may be pushing you away from God. Check out our TikTok account on God and Money.
First, I think this is so important for people to hear, is understand that the having of money is not an indicator you're going away from God. And I think a lot of people, they confuse the prioritization or the trusting of money as the having of money. Well, let me tell you, there are absolutely dead broke people that worship money. If only they had money, their life would be better. They find their security, status, significance, identity, everything in money. Psalm 35:27, let the Lord be magnified who has pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. If you find your security, your status, your significance, your worth, your identity, and how much money you're making or not making, then you have made money your God. I used to. If I didn't have it, I was depressed. But if I did have it, I just wanted more. And money is a resource. God is the source.
Oh my Lanta. I think that people who don't have money are dependent upon it because every transaction in the world depends upon money. Buying food, you need money. Housing, you need money. Clothing, you need money. Medicine, money. Diligent, steady, earnest, and energetic effort. Widow word on your shirt.
Here's my number one tip for building relationships. You ready for this? Because it's not what you expect. Doing video. You doing more videos and you being vulnerable and you being consistent and you sharing more value out there has the ability to build you way more relationships than you'll ever build by meeting people offline. And I know that sounds maybe strange, But I've had thousands and thousands and thousands of people send me messages and thank me for the value that I've provided, and I've never even met them. And so now this doesn't mean that I'm not suggesting, hey, don't even bother building relationships. I'm not saying that at all. But you want the number one way, the most scalable way, the most powerful way? Be more vulnerable on videos that provide value, and you'll create more relationships than you can even imagine.
Are you actually receiving all of these messages with the lack of interaction that I see on your Instagram, on your YouTube, on your TikTok? Also, look at Julie Anderson's videos about what he thought about TikTok when it first came out. Oh, for the love of God. He's got gratitude and be defiant on his laptop. He's got gratitude behind him.
If you want to grow your business faster, you have to start seeing things in a different perspective.
You know what a perspective I think that would help you, Ray, is listening to your videos back and saying, does this sound like it's going to grate people's eardrums into oblivion? If so, re-record with a microphone.
The way of the lazy man is like a hedge of thorns, but the way of the upright is a highway. What does that mean? The way of the upright is someone who has wisdom. They see everything as either an opportunity or a lesson, or they see it as something that needed to happen to get them to where they want to go. When they don't go your way, and you start seeing them as, oh, that needed to happen that way, and what's the lesson in it, all of a sudden, every opportunity becomes a highway. But the lazy man, they notice every single thing that happens to them that's wrong. Everything is like they're getting stuck with thorns everywhere they go. When you can start to change your perspective, your life becomes a highway, and your business growth and growth in spirit and in your life accelerates at a much faster pace.
That's literally what that verse does not mean.
When people tell me that they want to be a motivational speaker, I always ask them this question: what will you sell? For most people, they're like, oh, nothing. I wouldn't sell anything. I just want to motivate people. Here's the problem, right? Life comes at you fast. If you're a motivational speaker that doesn't have any programs or courses or coaching or anything additional to offer an audience, by the time you're done with your motivational speech and they hit the parking lot and they fly back home, they've already forgotten 50% of what you even said. And if they have nothing to snap into for discipline reasons to actually learn systematically how to improve.
Oh my God, it was Ray Higdon calling me. Oh my God.
Their life, they're not even going to remember you ever even speaking to them. It is important for you to have something that you can offer to people if you're wanting to motivate them to help them actually change their life. If you're just playing for the applause and you don't have anything else to offer, you're actually not really helping anyone but your ego.
I have a question. If I record the call, if I actually call them back, is that illegal? By illegal, I mean if I record it and post it to the internet.
The first step to changing anything in your life is to change the way you describe it with your mouth. Change your language. And this is true biblically. Now listen to this. Matthew 15:11. It is not what goes into the mouth that defiles a person, but what comes out of the mouth defiles a person. Your language and your vocabulary is actually creating the world around you. You want to be careful of what are you speaking into existence. And there's even a cool prayer that you can say to help you with this. And it's from Psalm 141:3. Set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. And so if you have found that you just really struggle with refraining from talking about all the things you don't want in your life, all the things you're afraid of, all the things that upset you, then actually ask for guidance. Ask for the Lord to help you with this, and He will.
So I'm creating a reality of hate and fear because I'm talking about the unethical practices in multi-level marketing and the religious manipulation that Ray Higdon is actually doing in his rank maker group. You know, I mean, I agree with a little bit of it. Like, I do believe that there is life and death in the tongue. Like, on some level, yeah, that's why I try not to do ad hominem attacks, and that's why I try to talk about behavior and not call people names, even though I mess up on that sometimes.
I know for me, there was a time I needed humility, and I've also needed to learn to be a better steward. So there's been times in my life where, things were going really, really well, then they weren't. For me to become a better steward of my money, of the money that God had blessed me with. I needed to learn to better till the land, because the diligent tills the land. In exactly what the world already knows, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. But God knows what we need for our potential.
No. Trauma is not part of God's plan for you.
Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Isn't that powerful? What a clear instruction. It's hard to imagine a relationship with universe, with cosmos, with stars and things like that. You miss the benefit of actually having a loving Father who strengthens you. Lean on Him, not a resource. So a lot of people, they pray, they wish for more money. That is a resource, right? Nothing wrong with it. If it's a resource, it's not the source.
It's tough listening to that because I grew up thinking some of that stuff, and then now I don't know what I think about anything.
Help the person you used to be. Whatever you've been through, whatever you survived, whatever you've overcome, help someone who's in that same situation. So if you
His shirt says Rank Makers University. Stop it.
had childhood trauma, you survived, you're actually to help someone that may be going through childhood trauma or who also went through childhood trauma. Although it may be difficult for you to see it as a gift, those things that you survived, the fact that you survived them, the fact that you overcame them are actually gifts from God.
No.
He got you out of that situation, but you gained something. You gained the gift of relatability. You gained the gift of connectedness, and pain is a connector. I went and spoke to some troubled teenagers, and as I walked up, they just kind of looked at me like, But when I shared my story within 3 or 4 statements, they were like, oh, okay, he gets us. See, I wouldn't trade that for the world. And so I am doing my very best to try to use whatever gifts I've received to serve others. Are you?
Let me just say this so there's no confusion. If you're a survivor, I am so happy that you survived. Trauma is not something that, like, God decides you get trauma so that you can go help people with trauma. That's not how it works. I think it's more complex than that. And I do understand the concept of empathy, going through something and surviving it. And if you have the capacity to go connect with people, I understand that. But God did not give you that so that you could go do that and help other people. I hope that gives you a little bit of insight into the new person that is Ray Higdon. We're going to be keeping tabs on this growing situation with this conference that he's putting on in September. If you like the video, I would love for you to give it a thumbs up. Come back for the next pre-recorded video or live stream. I'll see you next time.